week wasted by Arizona Republicans focusing on the wrong issues instead of providing COVID-19 relief. It's Maya with Capitol Watch, and I'm here to give you the rundown on what's been happening at the Arizona Legislature. Instead of trying to pass anything helpful for Arizonans or COVID-19 relief, here's what Republicans did instead. First off, the Arizona House of Representatives heard a resolution to stand in opposition to D.C. statehood. HCR 2035 was introduced by LD6 Representative Walter Blackman. The resolution passed along partisan lines, with Republicans all agreeing to stand in opposition of statehood. Another example of Republicans choosing political stunts and outrageous fights rather than focusing on what Arizonans want today. Next, Senator Ugenti-Rita from Scottsdale proves once again that she couldn't care less about the well-being of Arizonans. She introduced SCR 1001, which is an emergency declaration that has been placed due to the pandemic. Senator Ugenti-Rita has been vocal for months about how she doesn't think the pandemic is a big deal, despite it taking its toll on Arizona and Arizona being a global epicenter multiple times. The resolution passed out of the Committee of the Whole and is awaiting a vote on the floor. Another bill to highlight this week is SB 1456. This bill regarding sex education in Arizona schools would allow parents to selectively pick and choose what their child can and can't hear about in their health classes. This bill purposefully discusses the exclusion of gender identity and expression, especially isolating LGBTQ+ youth in these classes. It could also potentially expose children to major health risks in the future due to their parents not being comfortable with their child hearing these discussions. We have seen these kinds of bills from Senator Nancy Bartos in past legislative sessions, but that unfortunately hasn't stopped her from continuing to present them. And now for one of the worst bills in the session. Take it away, Jenny.
Finally, we have an update on one of the most horrible and aggressive bills introduced this legislative session. HB 2309 has officially passed out of the Arizona House of Representatives. This is an anti-First Amendment bill targeting Black and brown communities. This bill would charge a person with a felony simply for being at the protest, even if they did not commit the felony themselves. This would essentially further legalize political prosecutions. HB 2309 is part of a larger package of bills introduced by the Arizona GOP as retaliation against the anti-police brutality protests that were prominent across all of Arizona last year. We'll now have to see what happens in the Senate. Follow our friends at Mass Liberation Arizona and the ACLU of Arizona for actions against these attacks on our First Amendment rights. That's it for this week. Make sure to follow us on our socials for live legislative updates as they happen. And go to progressarizona.org to sign up for our newsletter and get more updates on what we cover here.